Meanwhile, US President Barack Obama has vowed to push ahead with the war in Afghanistan despite a deadly helicopter crash that killed 30 American troops. Obama said the deaths of the soldiers will not stop US forces from what he called transitioning power to Afghan local forces. Saturday's crash was the deadliest day for American forces since the war began a decade ago. 30 members of the US Special Force, most of them elite Navy SEALs, were killed after their helicopter crashed in the east. The Taliban say they brought the helicopter down with an RPG launcher. NATO says it's investigating the incident. Well, let's go straight to Belfast now. I'm joined by Finian Cunningham, who's with the Global Research. Welcome to the programme, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, Mr. Cunningham, dead men don't talk. I mean, that's the title of your article. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're trying to say that the US itself destroyed its own men, the Navy SEALs who seemingly took part in Washington's Binladen execution hoax and presumably would testify about that operation. How will this argument be able to be proven?
Well, admittedly, I don't have the answers to that, but I think what I was trying to do in the article was raise a relevant speculative question about the whole Bin Laden affair. I mean, this is just one more hole in Washington's argument or allegation that they killed Bin Laden on the 2nd of May. I mean, their story is just full of holes and contradictions. The nature of his death, how his body was disposed of, there's lack of evidence. Now recently on Pakistani television you have local people giving a version of events of what happened in Abbottabad that completely contradict what the Washington version of that incident was. Those people were saying that there was a helicopter, one of 3 US helicopters exploded, killing everybody on board. So how could a body, Bin Laden's body, be recovered and dumped at sea if that helicopter did in fact blow up, according to the residents in Abbottabad? So the whole Washington story is very, in my view, very dubious. There's a lot of contradictions in it, and the people that could actually shed light on this would be the people who were supposedly involved in his assassination. This Team 6 of the Navy SEALs, and a whole cohort of them were wiped out on Saturday just past in apparently a rocket attack on their helicopter.
Indeed.
So it just raises the question, is Washington hiding from something? Are they trying to cover something up about this alleged assassination of Bin Laden in May? Because a lot of informed sources will tell you that Bin Laden died 10 years ago from natural causes, kidney failure.
Right.
So the whole saga is just becoming increasingly incredulous in my view, and for other people. And it would appear that Washington is trying to cover up or to delete possible evidence or witnesses to the actual event on the 2nd of May in Abbottabad.
Yes. Now, Mr. Cunningham, I mean, now suppose the story comes out true. What impact would such a story have on the morale of other fellow US troops if they knew their government was betraying them all along?
Oh, well, devastating. I mean, the whole war in Afghanistan is just going from quagmire into deeper quagmire. I mean, this year alone, 274 US personnel have been killed, including the latest victims of the Chinook crash. 274 soldiers killed already this year. We're only halfway through the year. The whole mission of Afghanistan is just turning into an endless, relentless war with no real purpose to it. I mean, say if the Americans' government is correct that they killed Bin Laden, I mean that was one of the main goals for going into Afghanistan in 2001. So if they've killed their guy, their number one terrorist, I mean why are they still in Afghanistan? So the whole mission seems to be riven with very obscure and amorphous objectives. It just there's no purpose to the mission. So I'm sure for a lot of poor GIs and American personnel on the ground, seeing all their comrades being cut down left, right, and centre with no clear purpose or objective, in the offing to this terrible bloody war. It's bound to be a very soul-sapping and demoralising experience.
Yes, now, Mr. Cunningham, the original stated objective of the US Army to invade Afghanistan was bringing down the Taliban. Now, however, some strange stories of diverting Pentagon money and arms to the Taliban or secret negotiations with the Taliban contradict that. Now, in the long run, what effect would this have on the Afghanistan mission?
Well, I haven't been following that just what you mentioned there, but it does come as no surprise given the origins of the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. I mean, after all, they were set up and funded by the Americans and the British secret intelligences to fight the Soviets. So the connections are well grounded there for this covert, seeding of money and arms and personnel, double agents and what have you. So that would come to me as absolutely no surprise, given the origins of a lot of the insurgents and Mujahideen, Taliban in Afghanistan. I mean,
right.
They were foot soldiers of the US empire, these 30, 40 years ago.
Indeed. All right, we'll leave it there for the time being. And nice talking to you. That was Finian Cunningham with Global Research joining me on the phone from Belfast. Many thanks for the thoughts there, sir.